Hello. Long time no see. Only it's not been that long. I've been around. I am here on the floor talking to you because I have been in a flare for a couple weeks now? And it has been awful. It's been horrible. It's not the worst, to be honest, but we're not going to acknowledge that it's actually not the worst. We're going to acknowledge that it's been awful first. We're going to validate and give myself affirmation for how I'm feeling emotionally because of how I'm feeling physically. Thank you for giving me that space. And in case you haven't been following the whole saga of my life, I don't currently have a therapist. I started therapy, again, after being in therapy for years on and off. I'm an old pro of sitting and talking to someone. Anyways, so I started therapy again with a new therapist, and we had to break up. We weren't a good match. We weren't a good match, and that's okay. She's a good match for many other people. That's fine. And I think that I'm not even a good match for that particular office as well. Just the office, I was having a little bit trouble communicating and getting... Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that I'm having a lot of feelings come up, and I need to talk about them, and I don't have a therapist. And so if you would like to be my therapist today, then hello, welcome, you're promoted. I hope it goes well. There is no pay raise, but there's lots of benefits. Like one, helping people, and also we'll talk about a dental package later on. So this has been very discouraging because I have been in physical therapy now for a couple of months, few months, something like that. You would think I would pay attention to time, but time is but an illusion. When it comes to me and my chronic illness, I have no idea what's going on, when, why, who, what, when, where. Anyways, so what is this? How does this work? So anyways, I've been in physical therapy, which has been one of the things that we as in me, my husband, who both of us had lived with me for a long time in my chronic illness, and my care team. We all feel like going to physical therapy is one of the things that's really going to help me the most. And so far it has been extremely life-changing. I feel like I am one of the most functional that I've been. And even though it's been only a few months, it's the most functionality consistently, like stable functionality, and getting out of pain quicker, getting out of flares quicker, understanding and managing energy so I don't have such drastic up and downs. Like, it has just been eye-opening and a life changer. To say the least, really has. With all of that said, being in some sort of flare episode thing going on the last couple of weeks has been extremely discouraging. I was like, whoa, this is a huge step back, which starting physical therapy, I had already had in my mind that it was going to be a very big up and down, back and forth, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, go, you're sore, you're in pain, things didn't work out. And it has been like that, but not nearly as much as I thought. And the parts that have actually been hard, I thought that was going to be the hard part. The parts that have actually been hard, I feel like is healing, is getting better. Figuring out things, realizing that I have some limitations and things that I'm going to have to just always cater to for the rest of my life. Having a rest of my life. That has been a very difficult idea for me. I didn't think I was going to make it to 30. I am now in my 30s, 30-something. We don't have to know exactly how old I am. I don't know half the time how old I am. Anyways, back to the point. The point is that I thought I was doing really well. I was negatively encouraged. I don't know, pessimistically encouraged? Is that what I should be saying? About how well things were going? since going to physical therapy, and since, we're doing a couple other things, but that's been like one of the main things that we've been doing, that I've been doing recently and have been seeing really big results from. But the last couple weeks, I had 1 week where the entire week my body was so unstable, and it was causing a lot of pain and just a lot of tightness because my body was trying to overcompensate. It was crazy. And then, it was that time of the month, which actually went really well, which for me is always like how is this going to go? And it went great. So that's wonderful. But I was still a little bit more exhausted and bedridden. And then I had another week of just I was dizzy like every time that I sat up and wanted to get up and do anything. And, I was in pain. I was having a lot of pressure in my head. I was having some other very weird, uncomfortable symptoms. It was really not the day. Well, not the day, but like not the week. So anyways, that was a total of 3 weeks, I believe. And then now I'm just trying to rebuild after that, which, couple of things. Should we get into the, okay, it's not that bad things? I don't think so. I think we should still talk about how bad it is. It was bad. Okay, now we're done. So the reality is that even though I was quite flared up and having such a difficult time, and my heart rate was more irregular, and I was getting a lot more I couldn't take a shower the way that I had been recently. Showers are really hard for me, but they've been so much easier since going to physical therapy, pretty stable. I can take a shower as long as I want, do my hair, all the things. I can have an everything shower every time I shower, which before it was I had an everything shower once every 6 months, maybe. And that was all I did. That was the accomplishment of the week. But it was coming back to all of these limitations of not being able to shower without getting winded and having to get out before I was ready, and not, being able to get my own food and feed myself when I'm hungry has been something that I've been doing a majority of the time for the last few months. And then not being able to do that, or get up and I can't hold my glass and pour water. I was hitting limitations again all of a sudden, and it was very discouraging. And it was just what, and I didn't know what was wrong. That's, now that I'm saying this out loud, thank you for talking this through with me, because now I'm thinking that maybe the discouraging part isn't just feeling bad, but feeling bad and not knowing why. So not knowing if, when, how to fix it. And that in turn also means I don't know when I'm going to get better, if I'll ever get better. And so it kind of starts sinking in, or the thought pattern starts to roll with, okay, well, if I don't know what's wrong, then I can't fix it. And if I can't fix it, I'm never going to get better. And if I'm never going to get better, most likely I'm only going to get worse, and da 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 da. And that is not fun. And that is a very discouraging, right? It's discouraging. It's below, it's depressing. It's no bueno, no taco, no fun. So the first time I said those words out loud, that it was a discouraging time, I cried. You're welcome for sparing you that. But in hindsight, in reality, even though I was having a hard time, there were days and nights that I did get up and do some things that before, if I was in a flare, I was in crisis mode. Or even if I was in a flare and maybe I wasn't in crisis mode, I was just right out of crisis mode. So I was just appreciating that I didn't have to be in the emergency room, or that I didn't feel like I wanted to go to the emergency room, whatever. And I definitely still couldn't get my own food, take a shower the way that I wanted to, take walks despite feeling really awful, maybe only walk to the door to my car, and then I had to come in, and that was it. And I was so out of it. Not being able to eat because I was so nauseous or you're in so much pain you can't eat. Like, it's just the idea of putting food in your mouth, or my body being so exhausted from whatever's going on, that it's like there's no way my body has any energy to deal with digesting food. And this time, even though it was a horrible flare, it lasted for 3 weeks, whatever was going on, or if it was one thing caused another thing caused whatever. 3 weeks of not feeling well, being on an opposite schedule. So I was asleep during the day and awake at night, or just random hours, which meant I didn't have like as much help because I wasn't awake when other people were awake to give me help. And it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing. I didn't have to wake anybody up and beg and then feel bad and then be like, can you help me? And I need this. And then being tired and just trying to fumble through. No, I was able to take care of myself still for the most part. Like, I muddled through and, was able to, during the day, my husband would make food and put it in the fridge and make my green juice and put it in the fridge and whatever else. And I would text him if there was something else I wanted him to do to get ready, so that when I was awake, all I had to do was heat it up or do something simple or cut up my veggies for me so I can just throw them here, whatever. And that seemed to work. And I'm so grateful because... And I did a couple of projects. I'm going to add this in too. I did like some small things. Like I did there's a project that I've been wanting to do, but it's all on my iPad. So I had some energy, a little bit of mental energy, a little bit of sat up and did my little project on my bed. I had some clothes to fold after 2 weeks of not doing anything. I like to try to do something in the house, so that something is folding clothes, and my husband saved them for me to fold. It's not the easiest thing for him to do. He's like, why can't I just do it? I can do it. It's so easy. It's so fast. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. I can do things. I can fold a shirt. So anyways, he saved some clothes and laundry for me to fold, so I folded some clothes one of the days, and then I've been working on my little corner thing, trying to set up another little corner for filming outside of my bedroom, just on the other side of the wall, so that husband can sleep and I can film, and doing it very slowly and one thing at a time, but I still was able to do some things. My husband picked up some makeup for me, and I test my makeup before I use it. So the one day I got up and I was able to put my makeup on my arm to make sure I wasn't having any histamine, allergic, crazy reaction things to anything. You know, sometimes they change those formulas and then they don't tell you. And then you get sick and you turn red. Speaking from experience. Anyways, so like I was still able to do some stuff. And that is very encouraging. It should be encouraging. I think I just need to acknowledge how I didn't feel good. And then once I acknowledge and feel those feelings, I will be able to, pendulum, seesaw, right to the other side of being like, but wait a minute. That was one of the best flares. If you can have one. That was one of the best flares I've had in 6 years. I think it's been 6 years since I haven't been feeling well and still been able to get some things done besides just laying there and feeling awful and just trying to make it second by second. 6 years. So anyways, that's been great. I think, right? Don't you think so? Don't you think that's good? I think so. I think I should feel like that's good. But wait, there's more, because don't clock out yet, my little therapist friend. There's more, because as I was having this 3-week-long flare, which normally when I have like an episode or something, it's like a few hours, maybe a few days, these days. So to have like a 3-week-long, I was a little like, this is weird. Anyways, but it brought up actually a lot of emotions. I don't know if it was because I just had so much time to think, or if it was because I was so alone. by myself, there was nothing to do but think, which is so not true, because I definitely binge watched one of my favorite shows, and I watched the whole thing. You know, season 1 to season, I think it's 7 or 8 seasons. I don't know. Is that something I should be proud of or not? Is that something I should be trying to hide? See, what does it matter? What does it matter? One of the things that it brought up, please tell me I'm not alone in this, please, that I was awake a lot during random hours, because when I don't feel well, or when I'm in a lot of pain, or when I'm extremely nauseous, or when my body's going through all of these things, it can either be extremely exhausting and or extremely difficult to get to sleep when being in that much pain and then stay asleep. So either I was sleeping for 14 hours or I wasn't sleeping for 24 hours because I was in so much pain. And then it's like your body's, for me, my body's like in shock. I'm in shock for how much pain I'm in sometimes, or how horrible it was. And then it's just like, oh, I finally have a moment to think because I'm feeling a little bit better. And I'm like, okay, wow, that was a lot. And then my body crashes and I couldn't keep my eyes open for anything. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Stay awake. I would try, but I wouldn't be able to. So there's no Klondike bars. Anyways, couldn't stay awake a lot of those times. But because of that, I was on some weird sleeping schedules, right? Like I was, for the most part, I was awake when nobody else was at night. And then I was asleep. Wait a minute, how tall should these be? Should it only be as tall as like my face? No, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go a little above you. I don't know. This one seems taller than that one. So I feel like I should definitely fix that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go a little bit shorter. I don't know. Like this is about as big as the other one is. Anyways, so that brought up some feelings, and then also like I would really like to be regular in how often I put out videos and stuff, and I'm trying to be slow about my process and coming back into functionality and healing and take things one a day at a time and blah blah blah. And then same with doing this, is just take it in stride and find what works and find where I'm comfortable, find the days, and if I can't do it, then I can't do it. It's fine. You know, like if I can't film one day, then that's fine. We can film another day. It'll be okay. But in reality, that's not me. That's not me. Not even a little. I am an all or nothing, go big, go home kind of girl. So the idea of not figuring this out or doing the most or doing my best sounds awful. Which again, who's to say I'm not doing my best? I feel like I am. Like if I look at it like perspective wise, if I pretended like I was someone else and I was talking to me, I'd be like, okay, for what you're going through and what you have on your plate and the resources that you have, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. I think you're doing, you could probably reel it on in a little bit. Yet and still, I'm having some, can you hear this? Yet and still, I'm having some issues with anything and everything, really. Oh my goodness, I just realized this is to hold the phone, I think, right? Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I think this is to hold the phone, and then it goes here on the light so that you can like, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize all that now. Is there one on each? There's two. It comes with two. So I could have two angles. Fancy. Fancy. So I just want to do my best. I want to do what I can do. And it stresses me out. It makes me sad. It makes me feel like I'm not doing it justice. I'm not doing myself justice, you justice, this process justice, and videoing it justice. And so I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. And with all the things that I have going on and that I'm feeling physically and emotionally, I don't really think that I need to be feeling disappointed in myself. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I need to give voice to how I'm feeling. I am feeling disappointed in myself. But why? Is it because I was raised with expectations that I could never live up to? So now I just have I don't know. And it's not like I had parents with crazy expectations. It's just they had expectations probably for someone who was a little bit more healthy and didn't realize how unhealthy and sickly and how much of a hard time I was having. Anyways. Back to the sleeping schedule thing. It's really the whole concept, but I'm going to talk about it in the sleeping schedule version first, is that I feel like I'm trying to live up to a standard that is one that isn't really serving me and is doing me more harm than good and isn't necessary. Like, it's one thing if it's necessary, but it's not necessary. Like, why do I have to be awake during the day and asleep at night? Why do I have to be awake from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. every day, sleep during the, like, that's actually a lot of sleep, but that's probably how much sleep I need, about 9 hours. Anyway, so it's like, do I really need, because the reality is I don't have a job at the moment, to my dismay. No, I don't really have a job that I have to work 9 to 5. And even if, you know, I decide to do this a lot more and make it into a more comprehensive job and things like that, if I am able, that would be amazing, that would be great, but I don't have to do it from 9 to 5. That's what lights are for. I can do it in the middle of the night because I have lights. I have lights, ceilings, lights on my camera. I have lights from Amazon. So why am I trying to live up to this standard in such a heavy way? Because like I was like crying about it for 2 days. Like not literally crying, but like felt so heavy, and it was all that I could talk about. And my husband probably was like, okay, new subject. Because I was like, I just need to stay. I need to figure this out. I don't have my life together. I'm not working as a person. Like, not like working, you know what I mean? But I'm like life isn't working. You know, nothing is, that's what I kept saying. Nothing is working. My body isn't working. My emotions are starting to go a little bit all over the place. And, you know, like I can't figure out how to film when I'm awake during the night and there's no sun because I was filming in front of a window. Anyways, so I'm like, how am I supposed to make anything work? How am I supposed to figure this out? How am I supposed to put out enough videos on a regular basis so that people can know when to come and that people can be like, yeah, how am I supposed to put out good enough videos? How am I supposed to call my friends and talk to them if they're all asleep when I'm awake? How am I supposed to go for walks outside? Like all of these things that it's like, it felt so heavy and it felt like I'll never be able to figure it out. I'll never be able to have it together. I'll never be able to accomplish anything. I'll never be able to do anything that I'm proud of, and that even if I'm not proud of, like just works. Like even if I just wanted to film a horrible video, like I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to do it. You know, I can't make a lot of noise. He's asleep. My husband is asleep during the night. I can't make a ton of noise. We live in a small space. And I couldn't figure out the lighting. And if I wanted to film out here in a different room than the bedroom, then I need to like have a bit of a setup, because who wants to listen to me make a video talking about who knows what on my floor in front of my kitchen cabinets? I would watch it though. It's like I'm holding myself to some standards that I don't need to, and I'm holding my life to be a certain way that I don't even Do I even really want that? Like, I want to be able to focus on me not feeling well, and for it not to be an even worse experience than it already is, physically and emotionally, because I'm making it worse, because I'm flipping out about the flare. But I'm not just flipping about, I'm like flipping out about what the flare means. The flare means I can't do videos. The flare means I can't do that. Our life isn't set up for this. Our life isn't set up for that. My life isn't set up for this. This and that and this, and people are judging me, as people do, you know. Maybe they don't mean to, not so harsh, but you know, people around me are like, oh, you're on that schedule, that sounds so awful, I can't believe, I could never, you know, oh, you're up all night, what are you, I feel judged, is really what I should be saying, because the reality is they're probably not judging me at all. They don't care. Do they care? I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little bit. But I've been able to talk to my friends the last 3 weeks. Some of them I've been able to text them back and forth. Some of them I text at night while I'm awake, and then they text me in the morning when they wake up, and they'll text me back, and we go back and forth. That's fine. I've talked to them on the phone in some of our crossing path hours. One time I woke up and it was like late at night, slept all day, woke up at like 10 o'clock, and my friend doesn't normally stay up that late, but she just happened to be, so she called. So we talked. It was great. So what am I freaking out about? It's me. I'm the problem, it's me. Hello. I get it. I get it. It's just like, how do I fix me? How do I fix me? Because in reality, I don't think that it matters. If you can eat, sleep, get things done, have a productive life, if, for instance, if I can do this at night with my lights, if I can hang out with my husband in the passing times and he's happy, we're having enough together time, if I can hang out with my friends on the phone, that's what I do right now anyways, if I can get things done, then what does it matter? I'm still living life. And the ultimate reality is it's not always like this. It's just like this sometimes. My sleeping schedule just changes a lot, and it probably will, until things will get better. And even then, even more better, because things are better now, but like even more better physically, because the physical seems to be what messes up my sleep schedule so often. And then once it's messed up, it like takes all this time and energy to get back, which again is also stressful for me. I'm like, I have to get back on the good sleep schedule. I have to do what everyone else does. Why am I freaking out about that? I'm not doing anything that important. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. With you, so that you can tell me what's wrong with me. No, I know. I just need to create some new neural pathways, because I really do believe it doesn't matter. And if this is what our life is like, you know, me and my husband, my immediate family, if this is what our life is like, where sometimes my sleep schedule is shifted, and sometimes, you know, my husband will match my sleep schedule, especially if I'm doing really awful and need help, then he'll switch his sleep schedule around to be on my sleep schedule of being awake at night. And that's fine. And if that's what works for us, then what does it matter? And that's the greater issue, is if that's what works for me, then that's what I should do. And I feel like I've not done so many things because I'm like, no, that's not something I want my friends and my family to know that I'm doing, because they'll judge me on it. And I don't want their perception of me to change in the way I think it will change if they know I'm on a different sleep schedule. So if something works for me, it is more comfortable for me, it is more accessible for me, and if it makes my life worth living, quality of life, then that's really what good friends will be happy about. And I do have good friends. To be honest, I feel like the flare up the flare-up that I was in was bad. It was not fun. And the emotional things that came up with like, oh, it's discouraging, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, it's not great, but you know, you get over it. And now I can do those things again. I can shower again for 20 minutes. Why do you take such long showers? Because I can. Because I can. Anyways, there's more things. There's more things that I have been freaking out about. Like, I've been going through a whole crisis about how I don't have anything to wear. And you're like, oh my goodness, what a girl thing to say. We love it. No, I literally have nothing to wear. I went from a size 2-4 to a size undetermined. I think 12. I think I'm a size 12. And that's a bit of a jump. And the amount of clothes that I have to get rid of now because they're not even close to fitting, not to mention that I have been living in crisis and whatever for a few years, about 7 years, where it was just in and out of hospitals and more doctors and hospital ER visits, things like that, than not. And that means that my fashion sense and the priority of having cute clothes has been boom, bottom of the list. Just bottom barrel thing. And now I'm scraping at the barrel going, hey, I should really take care of this because I don't have a functional wardrobe at all. Right now, I don't even have clothes that fit. So I do have this shirt, very cute. It's because it's a huge shirt. Like this is a, you know, I have some stuff to wear around the house. I have some leggings. I bought big shirt, like, so we've got something. I can wear this to physical therapy and I can wear it here. But what about all of the crazy parties I'm going to now that I can walk more than 20 feet? Just kidding. I think that I need to focus on creating a life that's worth living, a life that is based on quality of life, and let all of whatever ideas, standards, stereotypical things that I have like in my head to just, I need to just question, get rid of, throw them out. They don't belong here. This past 3 weeks, I have encountered some deeply entrenched thoughts, beliefs, patterns of thinking that are not serving me and I feel like are not even necessary. And I don't know why there's so much more in there than other things, because I feel like everything else I can question and be like, cool, whatever, I do, I don't, it works for me here and now, so fine. It doesn't, okay, goodbye. But right now, I'm like, it doesn't matter. I have to be awake from morning to night. I need to be a morning person. I need to be, why? Why? I don't. What I need to do is create some new neural pathways very specifically for these things and just think them over and over and over again. Repetition. Repetition is emphasis. That's what I always say. That's what I always repeat. Okay, well, thank you for listening to one of my rant raves about life. I'm feeling better, in case you can't tell, and that makes me really happy. Thanks for helping me put my little light together. Thanks for being my therapist, and I'll see you later. I'm grateful for you. DM me affirmations and validation for how I've been feeling, okay? That would be great. Send me a bill. Send me a super bill. If you're chronically ill, you should really know what a super bill is. And if you don't, then yay for you. You should really not. No one wants to know. Anyways, okay, bye. Bye. So, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this?